I looked at those people. I could sense how hard they worked in their lives. And I could sense that unemployment was a new psychological phenomenon for them. Not just a new fact, but a new psychological phenomenon. Birmingham News, a month ago, did a piece on the rising unemployment rates in our state. They told the story of a man in Shelby County making high five figures around 80,000. Was a manager for a national computer company that had an office here in Jefferson County. Because of the economic contraction, the Nationals had to lay off some people. That meant they needed one less manager. Last manager in, first manager out. And this guy who was playing by the rules, with skills, with $80,000 worth of wages, talked about how for the first time in his career, he had to pick up the phone book and look for the blue pages to figure out just who do you call about unemployment insurance benefits. Profiled an unemployed person. It's not people like that guy. I could tell other stories, but ladies and gentlemen, there are people who are hurting in our state. And if I may be so bold as to say it, our party, the Democratic Party, is a better party for people like that. Our party has done and will continue to do a better job of recognizing that no matter where you start in life, you have the potential to rise. You also have the potential to fall based on what can happen if a modern economy careens out of control. You can rise and you can fall. We know, better than our adversaries on the other side of the ideological divide, we know and we appreciate that where you begin is not determinative of where you're going to finish. We appreciate that. And oh, how we need a government who appreciates that. It's very easy if you're practicing ideological politics to say, we're going to turn down the unemployment insurance money. We don't need it. A lot of folks who voted for me are concerned about it. But when you're thinking the way this party has learned to think, and you realize that we have an obligation toward people in the valley, people on the side of the mountain, the high side of the mountain, because of what we believe, we're ready to move when we have an economy that's facing the kind of crisis that we're in now. There's a face, ladies and gentlemen, on these problems. There are faces all over our communities, and because those faces look like all of us in this room, we're being reminded of what we Democrats believe. We are bound to each other. We are obligated to each other. That's what my Democratic Party believes. That's the kind of government that I want to be. I want to put another face on the problems. College students who are right now wondering, how am I going to stay in school? I know I need to stay in school. I know I need to do it because maybe my grandparents didn't have to do it, but we were competing against the Georgians and Tennesseans and South Carolinians at that point. Now we're competing against the Chinese and the Indians, so I know a college degree is a prerequisite today, but it's more expensive than ever. Tuition is going up. Maybe my parents enrolled in the PAC program, and now the state treasurer of our state is informing us that we can't count on that program. We can't count on the investments around it. That college student is wondering, is my state on my side? And he's wondering, because some days he reads in the paper, well, maybe the legislature will fix this problem, maybe it won't. He's wondering because some days he reads that maybe PAC will be viable, maybe it won't. He's wondering because on all days he understands the struggle of his parents, and he understands how difficult it is right now for so many of us. That student needs a government. And it is amazing to me that in the months since we learned the PAC program was in trouble, we've heard so little from the governor about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this election is going to determine, do we have the boldness and leadership that we need for this next decade? Now, I know that some of you wonder, and you may have heard the question, are we ready? Some people mean, can a guy with funny ears be elected? I know that's a small number of folks, isn't it? Most people mean something else. Are we ready? Ralph Cook might have an answer to that. Ralph Cook was a justice on the Alabama Supreme Court, and that required close contact with voters. They had to elect him. Oscar Adams, my district director, Frank Adams, is here somewhere. Frank is the nephew of Oscar Adams. When Judge Cook and Judge Adams were running back in the 80s and 90s, the refrain they often encountered around the state was, well, we like you. We Democrats who come to Democratic meetings and Democratic groups like the Downtown Democrats love you. But I got this cousin in Athens. Or I got this uncle in Phoenix City. And he does not want to vote for you. Remember, it got so bad back in the 1980s, people told Oscar Adams, they said, you know, Oscar, you're not doing any campaigning, are you? He said, well, what do you mean? Folks will see you when you campaign, right? When they see you, they may see you. And he said, well, that's okay. I know I'm not the prettiest person in the world. That's okay. And I said, that ain't what we talking about. Even when Cook was running. 6 years later, Adams had won, and they said that was a fluke. George Wallace appointed him. That kind of guaranteed him some votes, but, you know, some folks still didn't know who he was. You're not going to win. And when was Ralph Cook running? Ralph Cook had the bad luck to be on the ballot in 1994 when Democrats were dropping like flies. Almost all of our statewide lost. Folk went to bed thinking Ralph Cook must have lost. They got up the next morning, Ralph Cook was still sitting on the bench. Folk were wondering how they missed that one. Maybe they missed it because they got to know Ralph Cook. By the way, even in 2000, when he did win, because some folks double-crossed him at the last minute, he still got more votes than any Democrat on the ballot, including the selling white guy from Tennessee running for president. James Fields might have an answer to that question. I don't know who James is going to end up back in the governor's race, but I know whoever James ends up back in, his history speaks for itself. Rand and Coleman. That's conservative territory, and they tell me there are a lot of white people there. I believe it's 96%. He said, I'm going to be a state representative. And I said, where? He said, right here in Coleman. No. He ran, and they said, oh my goodness, we're about to hand the Republicans a seat in the legislature. He said, y'all don't know the campaign I'm going to run. Y'all don't know how many people I'm going to touch, and you don't know the power of the case I'm going to make. And they said, yeah. Barack Obama got 14% in Coleman. For those of us lawyers who don't do math, that means the opponent got 86. That's a wipeout. Ralph Cook got 61. Sam Jones down in Mobile. Sam was the county commissioner, and they said, Sam, we need you on the county commission. You are such a wonderful role model and such a wonderful example on the county commission. We need you there. And he said, well, I think I can be mayor because this is a big election for Mobile. And he ran and ran and won.